We're here at the World Championship in Call of Duty in LA. I'm here with Candice. Is this one of the highlights of the year for a Call of Duty person?
Yes, it totally is, and it's actually something that I get excited for, once the game launched, because I know it's coming. And, finally to be here, it's just incredible. I don't think I've slept very much this week. I've been so excited.
All right, for a Call of Duty, which is, at least for today, it's very multiplayer oriented. Is that different to work with, where like most video games you would have the build up to launch and then it's kind of over?
Yeah, that is true. So even after our game launches, we have a whole year of releasing DLC content. We have events that we sponsor, so we don't really ever stop working until the next Call of Duty comes out.
All right, and Call of Duty, one of the most popular games there is. You have a lot of fans, but you also have people who are not happy with some things in the game, and they seem to be very vocal about that sometimes. How do you come about filtering comments that you can use for making the game better?
Yeah, so when people send us feedback, I look for, whatever's the most constructive. So the more specific they are, like what their issue is, then we can go and we can look into it and we can see if a fix is, something that we can do. And, I know there's a lot of angry people out there, but, if you give feedback, please be as specific and constructive as you can, because that's the way we'll improve the game.
How do you go about the balance between making the game for the general audience and for eSports people like we have today?
It is tough. It's a tough thing to do, but we work closely with MLG and a lot of the pros, and we find out what they want, and we implement as much as we can while still working on the core games. And we just added a new game mode drop zone. It was a favorite from Modern Warfare 3, so that's something we did for the core community while we're hosting this huge championship for the esports guys.
How do you go about choosing modes and maps for esports?
Well, we actually talk to the pro players themselves and find out what they want to play. And of course, they always want S&D and Dom. And then this year they, took on Blitz, which has been incredible. There's been some really crazy matches.
I think it's pretty interesting with Blitz, actually, that it seems to me it's the first time you've had a game mode where it pays off to not kill the enemies sometimes. Was that something that came into the whole decision with that game mode?
No, we just kind of wanted to, revitalize the CTF kind of feel and make it a little more fast-paced, and that's kind of what we're going for, and I think we achieved that.
All right. I've been wondering about guns, because there's a lot of guns in the game, but it seems that it's a few guns that's being used, especially in esports. Is that something you think about, or do you just think about how you can make the guns fun to use?
Yeah, we just really want to create a balanced game. The designer that works on weapons has an entire tool that will break down distances and shots between every gun. So we really want every gun to be balanced as much as possible. But I think that, the pro players, they all kind of gravitate towards similar weapons because, they're so good and they know exactly what they need to use for their play styles.
All right, and finally, do you have a prediction for who's going to win this tournament?
Oh, this is so tough. I would say it's going to be between Complexity and maybe SB.
Good choice.
There are some European teams like Epsilon looking really, really good today, so, it could go any way.
All right, thank you for your time.
I think